guys, and welcome back to Garden of Kayland. I have a phone call I have to take. Just a moment. Hello? How do I turn it off? Oh, you can't turn it off. Great. Phenomenal. Hey guys, it's Kayla and welcome back. Today I really wanted to talk philodendrons, all things philodendron. So if that's not your thing, this isn't your video. But if that is your thing, you're in luck. Let's get started. Oh, and I got some new ones that I'm gonna unbox on camera for you guys that I'm so excited about. So stick around for that too. Number one is my amazing Burle Marx fantasy that I actually just got a few months ago, maybe like 3 months ago. And it has just really been doing its thing. I haven't had to do much. I just water it whenever this pot gets kind of light. I've got it in my chunky air void mix and in a terracotta pot, as you can see. Climbing up on this moss pole, just, it's loving this, y'all. It's loving this. So it's definitely sized up as far as the amount of leaves, but it's not sizing up in like actual size. And that is kind of confusing to me. So I'm kind of wondering what's going on. I've got it right underneath a grow light, like really right up underneath a grow light. I keep the moss pole nice and moist, so I'm not sure really what's going on there. But I don't mind it being this size. I guess I don't. It's great. It's doing great. The leaves take a while to unfurl. It is a bit slow on the growing side, but if you look at how gorgeous it is, I don't care how slow it is. It's doing its thing, y'all. I mean, seriously. Next up, I have this gorgeous philodendron, I believe McDowell. But let me tell y'all the story behind this. So this was sold to me as a glorious, but I quickly understood this was definitely not a glorious. So the leaves aren't velvety. They're kind of more on the shiny side. And then this veining, it just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. So I thought, okay, it's either a Pastazana or a McDowell. So I put it on Reddit. And you know, with pictures, and I was asking people, and the amount of like, I don't know, it was just weird because I didn't think that the plant world had like hate and stuff, but anyway, so it's really doing its thing. I believe it is a McDowell. I hope that it's a McDowell. I'm really excited about this. It's putting out a leaf very rapidly. This one right here just unfurled, and it's so gorgeous and big. But then, before it even finished unfurling, I saw evidence of a new leaf coming in. Oh my gosh. Do you know how excited I am about this? Now, I do understand that this is probably a crawler and not a climber. But I needed to support it because it was going way too crazy and all over the place. And I've got it right in front of my window. So when I'm like opening or closing the curtains, it was knocking it. And I even knocked a hole in one of the leaves. No, I didn't knock a hole in it. I like completely ripped part of it off. Look at that. Like, so yeah, so I put it up on this moss pole. And I'm just kind of letting it do its thing now. And I think it's so gorgeous. I did have a little scare with spider mites. I think it was spider mites. I'm still not really sure. When I posted it on Reddit, this guy or girl, I don't know, was like, oh, it has spider mites, and like kind of argued me down about whether or not it has spider mites based off the picture that they had seen. And I was like, hey, thank you. I mean, I treated it just in case it really was spider mites, because I could see kind of what they meant by that. But at the end of it, I was like, hey, but also, do you know what it is? Like, back to my original question, because we're arguing about spider mites, and I still, anyway. So I'm very excited and very happy to have this, and I can't wait to see what else it's gonna do. It's gonna get like even more pillowy than this, and that texture is gonna be even more pronounced. Oh my gosh, like it's really growing a lot and doing so freaking well, if I must say so myself. Okay, so this monster that I have to peek over is really showing out. Like, I got this last year as just a little seedling, just a little baby, and it has gotten massive since then. I mean, I have to like really, I have to pull back to get the whole thing in frame. This is my Philodendron Jungle Boogie, or narrow form. I've seen it called a bunch of different things. I call it the Jungle Boogie, and it's definitely boogieing. When I got this, I loved how it was just constantly putting out new leaves, like the leaf shape, the pattern, how the leaves are like serrated like this. So I naturally went and got every version of this that I could possibly think of, except for the, I think like caramel marble or something. Can't get that one yet, y'all. Y'all saw those prices. So I'm just so stoked to have this. Now I do have the golden crocodile, and then I've got the ring of fire. So I can't wait for all of them to get this big. I'm thinking about like putting them all on a little shelf together and just letting them, I mean, can you imagine a bunch of these? So, oh my gosh, you guys, it's so pretty. It's so pretty and so huge. And look at these leaves. This is constantly keeping me out of frame. This is constantly keeping me like satisfied as far as growth on those months, or those like during those little periods where nothing is happening with any of my plants. This one, something is happening with. This is a staple, and it wasn't that expensive. It's not one of those like super rare, hard to find things, at least not where I'm at. They grow so fast. Like, this is a year of growth. Oh my gosh. I'm just really happy with it. I'm just really happy with it. All right, you guys, next. Oh my gosh. What? Are you serious? I get to really have this. Like, okay, so I had seen this a million times, but I thought it was an allocation. I was like, seems complicated. Nope, no thanks. But then I saw the name of it, Cestis, Mirabilis, that. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay, it's a philodendron. Now, my understanding is that it's really slow growing. I don't even care. I've got a new leaf coming in right there. This has really just been such an experience for me having this plant, getting to see it grow, getting to see a new leaf come in. Can't wait for the new leaves to come in. It's been in this state for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's just getting taller and taller. So I'm like, okay, that's great. That must mean it's gonna be a pretty decent sized leaf. But I hadn't seen a whole lot about this. And the reason I even got it, I saw a girl on her Instagram post one of these and it was massive, and almost threw up. It was so pretty. Almost threw up, y'all. That's how pretty it was. So I ran and got this thing and it was the only one in there. It was meant to be. So what I've learned about these is that they're very slow growing. They like really high humidity. So I've got it in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet. I give it really high humidity, about 80%, and I leave it alone. And when I do water it, I water it when it's like super light. It's not very light right now. I water it when it's super light, and I bottom water it. So there she is, so different and unique looking. That's enough of that, because I could like talk about this one all day. Up next, I have my Philodendron Felix, which I've shown you guys before, but I'm gonna show you again. So you're gonna look and you're gonna love it, because I love it. Anyway, so this is my Philodendron Felix that it's not really doing anything. So it's not necessarily showing out, but it's showing up. I mean, you can see this new leaf coming in right here. That's something, right? I've got it on the moss pole, as you can see. The leaves are not, they're weird because they seem to be pleased. Like the pot will be nice and heavy, nice and moist. The sphagnum moss is nice and moist, not overdone. And the leaves still kind of seem to be like this one up here. Still seems like a bit like it's drooping, like it's not alert. You know what I mean? It's a little bit sad or something. Anyway. So I put it in the IKEA greenhouse cabinet about a week ago to see if that kind of speeds up the process of this leaf coming out. I don't know yet. I don't know if it's working yet, to be honest. I treat it for pests regularly, even if I don't see anything. I'm not taking any chances. Y'all know I don't like bugs at all. I don't even like ladybugs, butterflies, nothing. So I've got it in really chunky soil. Got it in a good mix in a terracotta pot. I got everything I need for success, so this better do good. I'm gonna be really sad. All right, so next up is this Philodendron Yuppie that I also have to kind of sit back for, and it's doing so well. Now it does have these weird like brown spots on them recently, and I'm not quite sure what that is. I don't know. I've treated it for pests. I continuously treat it for pests. So I took it down, I looked at it, and kind of examined it, and I didn't see anything on it but these weird brown spots. So I'm thinking it's some sort of fungal something. So I treated that too, and it's got a new leaf coming out. So I'm gonna really be thorough and checking the new leaf to see if it has those spots too, because this was the most recent leaf before this one coming out. But anyway, enough of the problems. Let's talk about the good stuff. Look at the leaf shape. It's almost like comical how these leaves are shaped. Like, it almost seems like a joke the way they're shaped. But I think that's something that makes it so unique and amazing to own. It does take up a lot of space, so I do have it up on a wall, like kind of away from other plants so that they're not knocking against each other and stuff, breaking leaves and whatnot. I know it's big and like kind of obnoxious, but I love that. This is always a conversation starter whenever someone's looking at plants. You're like, oh, that one's weird looking. Some people think it's really ugly. It's not for everyone. I understand that, but it's for me and I love it so much. I don't know. I feel like this kind of checks off the box for like weird shaped leaves. When I got him, he had 3 leaves. He's had a lot of growth in a really short amount of time. And he's really easygoing so far. Like, I don't have to do so much watering and deal with like humidity. And as far as I know, there haven't been really any pests. So overall, I'm very pleased. He puts out another leaf about once a month. I'll get a leaf, and I think that's really good for such a rare plant to be growing so rapidly and so fast. I can't complain about that. He does, however, probably need some support soon because I'm starting to see some of those new roots coming out, and those aerial roots are kind of starting to grow out, and I can see that. I can see how it might need a moss pole soon, but the way that I have it up on the wall, I wanted it to grow downward and just kind of cascade downward, kind of like, you know, like a puppet. I really got NSYNC vibes just now for some reason. But that's kind of where I'm going with this. I don't know if that's ideal or gonna be like the best for the plant, so I may have to reevaluate that soon, but for now, I think for the rest of this year, I'll keep him up on the wall, and next spring, put him up on a pole and kind of reconfigure where I have him. So I don't know, I'm really happy to have him, really excited to talk about him. Now this philodendron is one of my favorites. It is the Philodendron tortum, and I'm losing sunlight, so I better speed this along. So this is my Philodendron tortum that I got just as a cutting, and it is just taken off. It's pushing out 2 leaves at a time on a regular basis. So there's 1 and then there's 2 right here. So it's pushing out new growth very steadily and on a regular basis. I'm so pleased with that. I have it in front of a south facing window, and I have it in leca. Now I put it in leca because I put it in front of a south facing window and it was just drying out way too quickly. So it did take a while to adjust to the leca, but once it did, it just kind of started shooting out new growth left and right. It's so different and it's so fun and funky. And some people think it looks like a palm. I do too. I think it looks like some form of a palm. But I think that that's what's special about it because I kind of get palm vibes without the spider mites. So it works out for me. But really, I need to put it up on a moss pole, and I don't feel like it because, you guys, I got a lot of plants. There's like 10 of them in this house right now as we speak that need moss poles, and 1 from my neighbor who also needs a moss pole. So when I'm doing plant chores, it's a lot. I have a lot of philodendrons, but this one is one of my favorites of all time. I didn't think I would like it, but it definitely grew on me, and it's doing so well. I haven't had any problems with it. It's just growing. It's just been growing, and that's it. Ouch. Okay, so next I have my Philodendron Choco Empress. Oh my gosh. Now I know I showed you guys the Jungle Boogie a minute ago, and this is kind of another form of that. But this one deserved a spot on this video, so I have to show you guys. This is the latest leaf, and when they come out, when I tell you they are red, they're super red and absolutely gorgeous. I have it kind of under a canopy of my other plants right now until I find a better spot. It doesn't mind being there. I've only had it maybe 2 months now, and I'm just so happy. I really, listen to me, I really love plants. Like I love plants. They don't have to be rare or expensive. I don't love every plant. Ferns and calatheas. I don't love every plant, but when I find a plant that I really love, it really does it for me. And this is one of the ones that is doing it for me. There's so many like contrasting colors. Like underneath the leaf is kind of like, you can see kind of a red tint. And like on the margins of the leaves, you can see those red tints, and then the stems can be red. It's just, I love a red plant. I love a plant with like a little bit of red in it, just kind of peeking through. Like, look how freaking gorgeous. So anyway, the Choco Empress doesn't have a lot of humidity requirements. It's not fussy with water. I make sure not to overwater it. I kind of treat it just like my Jungle Boogie and like the Golden Crocodile and all of that. So I water it when it's like almost completely dry, honestly. And it's happy where it's at, and it's pushing out, you know, 2 and 3 leaves at a time. 2 leaves at a time. So push this one and this one out pretty much at the same time. And the leaves come out pretty small. It's not like anthurium small, but they come out kind of small, and then as they harden off, they definitely get a size bigger. So that's really exciting for me. It's really just exciting to have this plant all together, and I got it for such a good price, and it was just really unexpected for me to have. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and loving on her because she's so gorgeous. All right, so let me put this back, and I have like maybe 2 or 3 more, and then I'm gonna shut up about plants for today, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my Plowmanii. So it's up on this pole, yes, because it needed some support, and I figured if I'm gonna give it support, it might as well be some beneficial support. So the plant that I am gonna unbox at the end of this video is kind of similar to this one. I will say, however, this is a spider mite magnet so far. So I have to treat it regularly. To be honest, I'm kind of cringing just holding it because I don't like bugs and like, anywho, so I want to show you guys, this is the newest leaf. It's pushing out growth pretty regularly. I did cut a bunch of leaves off the bottom, and I'm thinking about cutting it some more, like cutting it like right here and just propagating. I don't know, I'm really scared. I feel so scared to cut, like, because I really love this plant, and I get really nervous about cutting plants that I really love. I need to just say YOLO and do it. It's got a new leaf. Another reason why I haven't cut it yet, it's got a new leaf coming in right there that's kind of looking like it's struggling to get out. But even like the petioles are lacy and gorgeous, and they're so fancy. They are so fancy. But it's a crawler, and me and crawlers just haven't really meshed well in the past. So I'm giving this one a chance. So far, so good. And I'm just gonna keep loving on him to see what he does. The leaves on it are gorgeous. It looks like somebody kind of spray painted it a little bit with some silver. And I love that. I love the texture. It's a beautiful, like perfect heart shape. When I tried to take a picture of it, like I want to post a picture on my Instagram, I can't get the right photo because every picture that I take, I don't really do anything. I just take the picture, and they all look so heavily edited because of the coloring, because of the silverness on the leaf. So I mean, like even this leaf back here, this back one looks cartoonish and kind of fake, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna think I edited the photo and I'm like a fraud or something. But I think they're gorgeous. I really do. This is my Mikans, and Mikans aren't like super rare or hard to find, not anymore at least, but we have gone through it. It hasn't had any problems. It's just that I put it up on this pole because, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Wow, look how gorgeous this is. I put it up on this pole because I kind of wanted to experiment to see like how big the leaves could actually get and how they would do on climbing, instead of, you know, you usually see them like trailing down. For so long, it still kept trying to trail down, and I'm like, no, you are climbing now. This is your new home. So I finally got its act together, and it's doing so well, and I already need another like extension. I already need an extension on it. There is a bit of some overwatering right here, but that's okay. It's fine. It doesn't take away from how beautiful the plant is, all in all. And they come in, look how red they come in. Ta-da! Last but not least is my Philodendron El Choco Rojo or Ruby Juvenile. I don't know. I'm still calling it Choco Rojo. I don't like a lot of change. This was on my wish list for so long, but I didn't want a super itty bitty baby one. I saw the prices of bigger ones and I was like, oh, we probably should stick to the baby. So I got a baby. I still have it. It's not doing very well. So when I found this one for 50 bucks, yeah, let me have that. Give me two. No, it's fine. I just got one. Cause I gotta feed the kids and all that. Apparently they like to eat every day. It's a thing. So I got it for 50 bucks and it wasn't that long ago. It was just a month ago. I damaged this leaf. It was perfect. I damaged it because I be doing too much. So anywho, it's got a new leaf coming in right there. And I just love the petioles, how they're this bright red, how underneath they're bright red. And when the leaf actually comes in, while it's hardening off, it's bright red too. So it's just gorgeous. Now it does start to lose its reddish underside as the leaves start to mature. But mine isn't really mature yet and I like that. I get a good sized plant, but I still get that red. I'm kind of like in the middle where it's, you know, it's a sweet spot where I'm getting everything I want. The velvet texture, which doesn't go away. But the velvet texture, the red undersides, the red new leaves. I mean, everything is everything with this plant. And it has more than one. So you see mine has a baby plant in there too. Oh my gosh. Love it so freaking much. So I've been really excited to open this. I got it from Ecuagenera. It took like 3 weeks to get to me. Cool. It wasn't in the mail for that whole time, but I hope it's okay. I need a proper box cutter. My steak knives are really not cutting it. Actually, they are cutting it. See what I did there? Why do I get so excited about plant mail? I don't know. There are 2 plants in here. This box is big. It's a big box. I don't know. I'm so excited right now. So I got 2 plants. And the first one is very well packaged. Oh my gosh, look how big this is. I'm so glad my husband isn't here to say that's what she said. All right. Like, okay. Ooh, okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is a Philodendron Mamii, however you want to say it. Oh my gosh. Look how freaking good this looks. Oh, wow. Like, I can't stop looking at it. What? I can't wait to order more from them. All right, next. If you hear noise in the background, you know why. You know who it is. Excuse me. Like, do you mind? And now I'm gonna get the next one. Don't eat that off the floor. Like, sometimes you can't tell if I'm talking to the baby or the dog in my videos. Most of the time it's the baby. Okay, this one's got some weight to it. Oh my gosh. That was definitely not the safest way to open, but I need my plant out of here. Okay. This is the Philodendron lupinum. Are you serious? I got it this size? Are you serious? You guys, look at this. How gorgeous it is and velvety. I'm about to cry. This is definitely, wow. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous, you guys. So here are my 2 plants, my 2 new Philodendrons from Ecuagenera. And I am very, very, very pleased.